What is good, everybody? Welcome to an impromptu Gold Standard live stream here on the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Maybe breaking news? We don't totally know. There is a tweet out there from Cam Marino, who works for NFLDraftBuzz.com, formerly USA Today, calls himself a national draft analyst. And he tweeted that the Steelers and Niners have agreed to a trade that sends Aiyuk to Pittsburgh. Again, this is the only person I've seen talk about it. I haven't seen any national person mention it. I haven't seen any local person mention it. So I don't know if it's true, but if it's true, this is done. Maybe. And I don't know what the return is. We don't know what the return is. It could be anything, really. It could be draft picks. It could be offensive line help. It could be a player, could be somebody else we're not even thinking about. Maybe defensive back help. I don't know, but there's reports of an Aiyuk deal to Pittsburgh. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Parker Divin says, is the trade official? No, it's not official. It's this one tweet from Cam Marino. That's all we have is this tweet that says the Niners and Steelers have agreed to a trade. I don't know. I can't grade it. I can't really react to it too much because we need to know the return, right? We need to know the return. We thought maybe the Browns was going to be a thing, and it was going to be Amari Cooper in a second-round pick. That's what Matt Mayoko laid out. That is not a bad return, especially in the short term for the 49ers. We have to see what the return would be. Speaker, YouTube channel member for 7 months. Thank you, Speaker. Appreciate it. Says, Niners bungled this, fire Parag. We don't know if this is official yet. We don't know. It just said, just this one tweet from Cam Marino. If you see in the chat that something else happened, let me know. I would love to know. I've been talking with people today to try and figure out what's going on. I've been listening to what the national insiders are saying. And the thought was Aiyuk is trying to pick his destination. He nixed the deal to the Browns. Benjamin Albright said that Aiyuk sort of flexed his muscle, or at least nixed a deal. The Browns deal was the one that was floating around. Mayoko had the details of the Browns deal in there. And so Aiyuk was trying to have his cake and eat it too, right? He wanted the money he wanted, and he wanted to pick his destination. And we thought it was Niners and Patriots. The Steelers have been sniffing around him for a while, as we know. Remember, he was tweeting at Mike Tomlin. There was that whole thing. That was a thing that happened. So it could be real, but we don't know. It's just a report right now. Spynick Danger says, what do we get? I don't know. That's the thing. I haven't seen a single national writer. Of course, I haven't seen a single local writer talk about it, because why would they do that? I'll try and keep my eye on Twitter. I know Grant retweeted it because he's talking with Ryan Hensley about it right now. But I don't know if it's real or not. Could there be a deal in place that I would want to see? I don't know. I haven't even taken a look at the Steelers roster, to be quite honest with you. I mean, certainly there's a deal we could put together, right? You get TJ Watt back in the deal. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. That's, of course, not going to be the trade. But do the Niners want a defensive back? We know that they could use help in the defensive backfield. Do they want an offensive lineman? Do the Steelers really have any offensive linemen that you're dying to get in your building? You know? And Kyle Shanahan is supposed to speak tomorrow, I believe, after practice. So the timing of this would be very interesting, right? And there would be a number of questions I would want to have and ask Kyle Shanahan if this goes through. But again, I don't know. It's not official. All we have is one tweet. So I'm interested to see what it's going to be. I'm getting texts from people that things may be happening. We will see. This is a sad end of a sorry episode. Let me just say that, because it didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way at all. If the 49ers decided they didn't want Brandon Aiyuk, then they should have traded him before the draft. To do it now, unless you get like a massive return, which I don't know that would be coming, but to do it now just seems weird. A lot of people are saying it's fake. I don't know if it's fake. Pretty Ricky has been saying a deal is done. I don't know how official Pretty Ricky is either. Again, I know a lot of people are saying that. The tweet was from August 5th at 4:26. People are saying the tweet is old. It's not old. It's brand new. He just tweeted it. Maybe I jumped the gun, and if I did, I apologize. I'm just reacting to this. I saw it out there. People are saying Schefter has tweeted it. I don't know if that's true. Hold on. Let me take a look. No, the last Schefter tweet is about Harrison Butker. So I don't know why people are saying Schefter tweeted it. A lot of people, someone in the chat is adamant that it is fake. Pittsburgh is a real possibility. We know that. Pittsburgh was one of the teams that Brandon Aiyuk named when he went on the Pivot podcast and said he would be comfortable playing. And remember, he went on the Pivot podcast at his request. So he wanted to do that. He wanted to get that out there. Remember, he went to that interview with Jaden Daniels, who's his boy from back in the day. He talked about wanting to play for Washington. Clearly, Aiyuk has thought about this. He has teams he wants to go to. Pittsburgh, we know, is on his list because he has said so. Again, I don't know if this is official. It's not official, I should say. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, if the news is going to come out a little bit later tonight. I just saw the report, and I wanted to hop on and talk about it. And I would really like to know from Kyle, like, why is this guy you draw the line in the sand for, right? Because with Bosa, they tried to take a hard stance, and they folded, and they paid him more than any non-quarterback has ever gotten. They tried to take a hard stance with Kittle. They folded and paid him. They tried to take a hard stance with Trent Williams. They folded and paid him. And now they're going to have to do that again, by the way. So what is it about Brandon Aiyuk where you just said, now, no, you're the guy we're not going to pay? Is it just because they don't think he's as important to their Super Bowl hopes? I don't know. I think that if you ask Kyle, as I've said many times, I think he would tell you Christian McCaffrey's more important, Trent's more important, Brock's more important, Bosa's more important, Deebo's more important, in some order, whatever order you want to put. But Brandon Aiyuk, that's 5 people I just named, and Brandon Aiyuk isn't in that list. And so if that's the case, I could see why they want to draw a line in the sand and say, we're not giving you more than, well, I think 26 was the last hard number that we saw reported. I don't know. Jay Spence the King. What are you saying rookie move for, Jay Spence? I don't do me like that. Speaker says, legit or no, situation is flocking horse pucky. All right. I appreciate the super chat. I'm not sure I know what that means totally. But I saw the news. Chasing Gold says stats is falling for Brig. I'm not saying it's happened. I said there's a report. That's all I said. Okay. I didn't say it's happened. So I'm just responding to the tweet that we saw. I don't know why everyone's getting mad at me. I have said from the beginning, I don't know if it's official. Pretty Ricky literally tweeted, hey, Bozo, it's done. Will be announced tonight. Enjoy. It is interesting that we may get some national reports later tonight about the 49ers, but I don't know why people expect me to not respond to this. You wanted me to just sit on my ass? I mean, this is all we've been talking about with the 49ers forever. Now we may finally have some movement. The day after Matt Maiocco and others have said repeatedly that the ball is in Aiyuk's court. I mean, they're basically telling you Maiocco said the Niners are willing to trade him, and now the day later we get this. Larkin says, I really hate this Aiyuk mess. Pay them early. James Thomas says Michelle's going to get so drunk if this goes through. Again, who knows if it's official or not? Mike says the tweet says they've agreed. Now, has Aiyuk agreed to go there? That could be a thing too, right? Because you've got to satisfy a lot of different masters here. You've got to satisfy Aiyuk's contract demands. You've got to satisfy the Steelers with what they're willing to give up and what they're willing to pay Aiyuk. And you've got to satisfy the 49ers with what the return is going to be. So there's 3 sides to this. It's really hard to work out a deal. We just found out yesterday that the Niners have gotten to the point where they're willing to trade him. So things could be moving very quickly. Kyle Yates just tweeted, he's a fantasy football guy, says, you have very little time to try and sell high on your George Pickens shares in Dynasty. Does he know something? I don't know. Again, I don't know. A lot of people have feelings about this tweet, though. I will say that. I'm just seeing the different 49ers reactions from around. Let me throw this tweet up from our own Jason Aponte, who says, 49ers Twitter, if someone from 49ers Twitter has a scoop. You don't know anything. Some random account reports Aiyuk is traded. Oh, my God, it's true. Set everything on fire. Again, we have nothing official. We have nothing official. All we know is that one tweet. That is it. We'll have to wait until later tonight to see if they've actually agreed. A lot of people are saying it's not true. How do we know it's not true? The people that are saying it's not true, how do you know? If you're going to say, I don't know that it's true, and again, I don't know that it's true, but if you're so confident that it's not true, how do we know? That's what I want to know. And I saw a couple interesting tweets. Let me see if I can pull it up for you really quick so you can see what I'm saying. This comes from Rich Rebar, I think is how you say this. And Rich, I apologize if I said your name wrong. I hate saying people's name wrong. So if I got it wrong, please forgive me. Let me share it up on the screen. Deebo Samuel has run 182 routes with Brandon Aiyuk off the field since the team drafted Aiyuk. Samuel on those plays, 37.4% target rate per route, 73.5% catch rate, 4.73 yards per route run, 17.2 yards per catch. Again, we don't know if it's true, and this is a specific sample with Deebo Samuel, but interesting things. The Niners offense will have to change. Brandon Lee Gouton, shout out to BLG, my old friend back from the SB Nation days, says, interesting that none of the big insiders have denied it yet. That is also true, right? No, I haven't seen anybody shoot this down. You would think that somebody would have shot it down immediately, right? You see the tweet on Twitter, you go to your source, hey, you got a deal. No one has said anything. I'm seeing somebody else say, Tom Legendary on Twitch says Schefter's also reporting. Where? On TV? Maybe on TV. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, I thought that was interesting about Deebo. And then Rich had a follow-up tweet about Kittle where he says Kittle's run 196 routes, 25% target rate, 1.8 yards per route run, 10.9 yards per catch. Look, the offense is going to have to change if this is true. And again, I don't know. You can't do it the same way, right? I know a lot of people think Ricky Pearsall's ready to step in. Who the hell knows? He's a rookie. Who knows? But the offense will have to change. A third of Brandon Aiyuk's catches went for 20-plus yards last year. It's going to be really hard to find someone to automatically step in and change that. But that doesn't mean the offense can't still be productive. You still have Deebo and Kittle and Christian McCaffrey, and to a lesser degree, Juwan Jennings. He's certainly not at their level, but he's a very solid player and can certainly do some things. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But the offense may have to be a little different. Now, if the Niners got a receiver back from the Steelers like George Pickens, if he's in the deal, which I don't know why he would be, but if he's in the deal, maybe the offense doesn't have to change quite as much as you think. We'll have to wait and see. I'm still searching feverishly. I don't see any of the national people shooting this down. So I do think that is telling. Why don't we have news one way or the other? That's what I would want to know. Why don't we, he tweeted this 20, 25 minutes ago, whatever the case may be, and we don't have a comment one way or the other? That seems really weird. I don't know why people would be waiting. If you see a tweet in the chat, please let me know. Be happy to talk about it. Don Jesse says Cohn's reporting it with Hensley. Is he reporting it or is he just talking about it? Because that's a different thing. There's two different. You could talk about it, but Grant Cohn saying yes, he's been traded. That's different. Heineman says nothing's going to change. Kyle overtrusts Deebo. Well, it's going to have to change because Deebo's not getting every target, right? So it's going to have to change a little. Every time my phone vibrates, I get like a jolt of fear/excitement because I'm at the point where I kind of want this thing to be wrapped up one way or the other. As I said, I hate uncertainty. I would rather know immediately, even if it's bad news, give me the bad news. But I want to know one way or the other. I can deal with bad news. I'll adjust. I'll move on. I'll move forward. I'll, put my big boy pants on and move on. Or I'll be happy for good news and celebrate. Great. But the not knowing is the worst part about it. Like, I think we've all reached a point where we just want this Aiyuk thing to be resolved. One way or another, just wrap it up. And the 49ers are dragging this out. And meanwhile, Trent Williams still doesn't have a contract. So we sit here and wait. Let me just finish this topic bar. There we go. I still haven't seen any other national insider talk about it. There was just a comment from Leonard Hankerson, the 49ers wide receiver. I just saw the tweet. Let me see if I can pull it up. That, Aiyuk is in all the meetings. He's doing great. And we love having him around. It was nice because we didn't have him around for OTAs, but it's nice that he's here. And so I think Levin said, like, if you want to trade him, why is he going to all your meetings? It's a fair question. But I do think it's hilarious that on the same day that the 49ers are talking about how great it is to have Brandon Aiyuk, there's a tweet that the Steelers have maybe reached a deal for him. Andrew Philipon, who talks about sports in Pittsburgh, 5 hours ago, tweeted that the Steelers are working hard on a trade for Brandon Aiyuk. So this is not totally coming out of the blue here, right? Now you've got somebody from Pittsburgh specifically saying that the Niners are working on a trade. Oh, you can't see that at all. I apologize. Let me zoom in. Andrew Philipon, again, who talks about sports in Pittsburgh on 93.7 The Fan, says the Steelers were working hard on a trade for Aiyuk and a deal could get done soon. 49ers seem motivated now to get something done. And again, that was noon Eastern today. So that was 5 hours ago that they were working hard on a trade. Let me just tell you, it doesn't take 5 hours to work out a compensation package between two teams. Now, it does take some time to work out a contract with Brandon Aiyuk. That might take more time. But so this is not totally coming out of the blue. A lot of people having fun in the chat. Sean Turner says Chiefs trade Patrick Mahomes to Panthers. Billy on X says Aiyuk just got traded to the Cleveland Guardians. Hey, if Ayuk's going to Pittsburgh, if the Niners got Paul Skeens back, would you really be that upset? Just saying. That guy's amazing. Billy says, I'm from Pittsburgh. I wouldn't put any thought into Andrew. Dude is wrong a lot of the time. Again, I'm not telling you it's happened. I'm not telling you it's official. I'm telling you people are talking about it. And we've been waiting for a resolution to this, and we may have gotten one, or we may not have gotten one. I wouldn't be, of all the places they could trade Aiyuk, I wouldn't mind Pittsburgh. I have no animosity towards the Pittsburgh Steelers whatsoever. It's an AFC team, so you wouldn't have to worry about it until you were in the Super Bowl against them. And let's be honest, if the Niners are back in the Super Bowl, I think we'd all rather see them play the Steelers than play the Chiefs, right? So if it is Aiyuk going to the Steelers, then hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That's all I'll say about that. Apparently, all the other Niners coaches are talking from the facility today, which I haven't had a chance to see at all. So we'll see about that. But again, still, no national insiders shooting this down. I have a feeling we're going to get something relatively soon. I think we'll get something, I would say within the hour. Some national outlet is going to have something to say on this one way or another. Charlie Higgs says, apparently Aiyuk posted on his Instagram story waving goodbye to California using black and yellow hearts. Ooh. All right. That would be juicy. Let me see if I can go to Instagram real quick and try and figure this out. If that's the case, I don't see that in his Instagram story. I don't see anything. So if that's true, I don't know where it went. I would think that someone would have had a tweet of that, a screenshot, something. So again, I did not see that. I just checked his Instagram and I didn't see that. So if somebody's got it, let me know. Strawberry React says confirmed is fake. Confirmed by who? Put it in the chat. People are saying the tweet has been deleted. No, it has not. I'm looking at the tweet right now. I'll throw it up on the screen for anyone that doesn't believe me. So who's confirmed it as fake? I mean, it's not deleted. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know what the return would be. Maybe it's an offensive lineman. I'm hearing good things about Dominic Pooney in camp for the 49ers, so it wouldn't be a guard, hopefully, unless they have doubts about Aaron Banks or they don't want Aaron Banks beyond this year. Could certainly be a tackle, but again, I don't know what tackle on the Steelers do you want? What tackle on the Steelers would you feel comfortable getting back and being like, great, we locked it down? Troy Fautanu? Dylan Cook? Anderson Hardy? Devery Hamilton? Broderick Jones? Dan Moore Jr.? I don't know if any of those dudes are good. Those are just tackles on the Steelers. Kenny 49er says 3 picks is the deal. If you only get draft picks back, then this is a major botch by the 49ers because you could have traded for draft picks before the 2024 draft and actually gotten help this year. So if it's only draft picks back in return, I would say that's a massive whiff. And that's a gut punch to everybody in the 49ers locker room, if that is the return. And again, we don't know. Do you think they are going to trade Pickens? You would think that if the Steelers did this deal, they want to strengthen their receiving core. So if you trade Pickens and you get Aiyuk, yeah, you're better, but I don't know. Maybe they do. You know, Pickens has had some issues. He had some issues coming into the NFL that people were upset about. People are calling this a clickbait trade, clickbait video. It's a report. I'm talking about the report. Again, I never said it's official. Calm down, people. Calm down. Would Minkah Fitzpatrick be in the deal? I have no idea. I kind of like the 49ers safeties, to be honest with you. Like, I like Hufanga. Now, he's a free agent after the year, so there's that. I really like Jair Brown. We're hearing good things about Malik Mustafa. I think this is the strongest secondary in the Shanahan era, to be honest with you. Deommodore Lenoir looks like a stud, and all the reports about him have been great. We know Mooney Ward is great. Now, again, Mooney's a free agent. I've heard behind the scenes that the Niners are working on a new deal for Deommodore Lenoir, which would make sense because he looks really, really good. But I don't know. Diego says, read me stats. The plain story is taken from his latest Instagram post from March. His latest Instagram post from March. I don't know what that means. I'm Instagram dumb. Okay. I see. Yeah, March 18th, he posted a picture of a plane. I don't see any black and yellow hearts or anything indicating that it's Steelers related, though. Jonathan says his Niner IG pics are still up and there's no IG story, so I call BS on that Instagram story. Goodbye. Who deleted what post? Did Aiyuk delete the post? If that's what you're saying, that would make sense because I don't see anything. So, again, who the hell knows? Everything is up in the air right now. I'm just saying I saw this tweet. Why hasn't anybody shot it down? Why is the entire NFL insider community silent? That's what I would want to know. That was a good point by Brandon Lee Gowton. Oh, people are saying Aiyuk didn't post it. It was a troll account. Oh, boy. Aiyuk posted a video from a plane over San Francisco. Someone superimposed the text and hearts over the video and screenshot it. My God, man. You really got to be a skeptic when it comes to this stuff. People put in effort to try and fool you. Thank you, Oscar Alfaro, YouTube channel member, for the clarification. If you want to become a YouTube channel member, it's less than $3 a month. Please consider it. I could really use your support. You get priority comment response, custom emojis, membership badges. So please, if you can't, I understand. But if you can, please do. Vishal says, can we just sign him already and put an end to this drama? I think the Niners put their number out. With that Mayoko report yesterday about them being willing to trade him, I think it was a clear, and again, you know what I've said about Mayoko. He's going to put out the word and the message that the team wants out there. So if Mayoko's saying they're willing to trade him, that means they have their number out there. They said, take it or leave it. If you're leaving it, we'll trade you, but we'll trade you only for a package that we want and only to a team that we want. The Browns were mentioned. Amari Cooper in it too. Was in the Mayoko article, which to me tells me the Niners told Matt we would trade him to Cleveland for Amari Cooper in it too. Like, Matt's not putting that in there unless he's heard it from the 49ers, unless the 49ers want it in there. And he even ended the article saying the ball in many ways is in Brandon Aiyuk's court. That's the Niners essentially telling everybody, hey, it's up to him to agree to a new deal with this new team, and then we'll move him. Again, Mayoko is not putting that out there for everybody unless and until the 49ers tell him to do it. Trying to pull up the article. The last line of the article is literally, it appears more likely than ever that the Niners are willing to make the trade. It might be up to Aiyuk to determine the next move. So clear as a bell, the Niners are not going up. They have offered their number to Brandon Aiyuk, and they're not budging with it. I have heard that it was around $26 million. That's what Mike Silver said. I believe in this Mayoko article, it says that their offer is a few million short of 30. Let me see if I can find that in the article. Stupid videos pop up all the time. Blah, blah, blah. 14-4 on the fifth-year option. A new contract would like to pay Aiyuk somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 million per season. Then he mentions Kendrick Bourne for some reason. Like, no, hell no. Here it is. The Niners' latest offer believed to be at least a couple million shy of the $30 million a year threshold. At least a couple million shy of the $30 million a year threshold. That is a very weird way to say that, right? Just say the number. Don't tell me what it's close to. Say the number. Mike Silver said $26 million. That was the number that he put out there. That would be a couple million shy of the $30 million a year threshold. Why not put the actual number out there? It's a very odd way to put that. Charlie Higgs says apparently there were better offers on the table. Well, maybe the Browns offered more, but if Brandon Aiyuk doesn't want to play for the Browns, he's not going to agree to that contract. And if you're Brandon Aiyuk, look, you're sitting there like, do I want to play on the Niners and potentially go back to another Super Bowl, at least be a contender and make 14 mil? Or accept their offer for 26, whatever it might be? Or do I want to go to Cleveland, a team that stinks, that their quarterback, Deshaun Watson? I mean, hell, Joe Flacco came in there last year and was better than Deshaun Watson has been. He has not been the Deshaun Watson that we saw in Houston. And I got to go in a division with the Ravens and the Steelers and the Bengals. The grass isn't necessarily greener in Cleveland. And I don't blame Brandon Aiyuk if he didn't want to go there, to be honest with you. Plus, he may not want to live in Cleveland. Nothing against Cleveland. That just may not be his preference. I don't know what, I don't know whether he likes, but all that stuff comes into play because Aiyuk knows he can nix the trade if he doesn't agree to a contract with the team, because no team's going to trade for him without a new deal in place. That's just not happening. Skillet asks a very good question. Where's the 49ers press on this? This has been a story for a week. It's been a story for a lot more than that. Brisbee Life says SF Gate has an article saying this reporter is just some college student. This needs to be verified by somebody before we should take it seriously. Who said that? Was that Mike Silver that said that? At least that's a comment from somebody on the 49ers beat. No, I haven't seen anything like that from Mike Silver. James Thomas says BA also knows the Niners could franchise him next year if they wanted. This is his chance to get a top-tier contract, and the Niners didn't want to go that high. Yeah. Well, so Aiyuk's going to have to make a decision, potentially. Do you want to go to a team that's not as close to a Super Bowl and make more money? Or do you want to take a little less money and play for a team that's in the Super Bowl hunt? Or do you want to just play it out? See, the problem is he can't play it out. It's not like a Dak Prescott situation, right? Dak can say to the Cowboys, screw you, I'm not taking your offer. I'm playing out this year, and then I'm on the open market because they can't stop him from getting to the open market. The Niners can. They can franchise Aiyuk twice. And so it's not like, well, he just has to get through this year and then he can hit the open market. That's not the situation he's in. That's why it sort of overcomplicates everything for BA. You would think that he's had time to consider all this stuff by now, considering all the friggin' time we've spent talking about this and dealing with this. And I appreciate all the 6,600 people that are watching this right now. Again, all we have to go on, if you're just joining me, all we have to go on is this tweet. Nothing is official. Nothing is official. I'll say it again. Nothing is official. We have one tweet that says this. NFL insiders, to this point, have not chimed in on the situation. We have no one shooting it down. We have no one confirming it. We may get some news shortly. I would assume at some point, some insider is going to chime in on this. They have to. Like, you can't just ignore this. Again, Cam Marino, if you're just joining us, calls himself a national NFL analyst, lead draft writer for NFLDraftBuzz.com, mental health advocate, formerly at USA Today. So, USA Today, obviously, a national reputable sports outlet. I've worked at national reputable sports outlets. I've worked at ESPN and NBC. When you work there, you get to know people. You get people's numbers. You get sources. You get information. I'm not saying it's totally true. I'm not saying it's untrue. I'm just saying this person could potentially know something. Brisbee Life has, this is the article. I can't click on the link, sadly. Otherwise, I would go to the article. Real Deal Sports says, if this is true, the Steelers have some major leaks. Javi Vega does follow Cam Marino for what it's worth. We love Javi, podcaster emeritus here for the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Third String All Pro says, why do you have text on your screen that Aiyuk has been traded? Stop, this is clickbait. I don't have text on my screen that says Aiyuk has been traded. I have the tweet that I'm basing the whole show on, and my topic bar says they have agreed to a trade reportedly. Like, hold on here. Man, people are like jumping the gun, and I get it, right? For some people, like an Aiyuk trade it would suck because we like Brandon Aiyuk and we have really good memories of him. Diego Figueroa says, why or how would a draft analyst get this scoop? This is me trying to find any indication this might not be true. Like I said, he also used to work at USA Today, so maybe he got some sources while he worked at USA Today. And again, not saying it's true. Calm down, people. People trying to come for me in the chat. Third String All Pro says Aiyuk would have broken the news. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe he's too busy going to Pittsburgh and trying to get his life together. Going to Pittsburgh so he could sign a contract. I don't know. Damn, man. Again, I get it. Like, it would be painful if it happened, if this is real. But I don't make the news. I just talk about it. I just talk about what people are talking about. I saw the tweet. I thought it'd be fun to hop on and talk about it. I am going to do a show with Vish a little bit later, a few hours from now, for people asking. Vish and I will do 5 p.m. Pacific time. So that's still going to happen. I have a feeling we're going to get some national news from somebody. It's been too long. It has been too long, even if it's just shooting it down. I just feel like somebody has to chime in. Pelissero, Ian Rappaport, Schefter, somebody. There's a 50,000 NFL analysts across the media spectrum. Pro Football Talk, somebody has to. It can't just be Pretty Ricky. Somebody's got to shoot it down or confirm it one way or the other. So I'm seeing tweets. Steelers have nobody we need. That would be funny. Is there a player on the Steelers you would want back? Not TJ Watt. Please don't say TJ Watt. Is there a player on the Steelers that you would want back in return that's not TJ Watt? Or you just think at this point it's dumb? It would be kind of frustrating if they got, whether it was Amari Cooper from Cleveland or another receiver from Pittsburgh, like, you missed a big part of training camp. They're going to have to learn this system on the fly. And what do we know about the 49ers system? It's incredibly complicated. Chris Tomasetti says, no trade in place currently, just reported on NFL Network. All right. Well, that's interesting. I would like to know the exact wording of that. No trade in place currently? That currently is doing a lot of work there. A lot of heavy lifting. I imagine if Aiyuk is traded, he would have to pass a physical, right? And maybe that has to get done before they could officially announce it. I don't know. But thank you, Chris, for watching NFL Network. Charlie Higgs says, this feels so different than the Deebo and Bosa contracts. It is different. I mean, Matt Mayoko came out and said, this is different than the other contracts. He talked about that. This was weeks and weeks and weeks ago. He went on the radio, I think, and said that. I want to put this Chris Tomasetti tweet back up, because if it's true, I want to have the latest news up there. No trade in place currently. We do have 49ers news. They signed Lewis Kidd. I don't even know who the hell Lewis Kidd is, but Aaron Wilson said that. Lewis Kidd, is he a punter? No. Lewis Kidd is an offensive lineman, apparently. Guard and tackle. That's not the 49ers news we need, Aaron Wilson. So if that is the latest, and I haven't seen NFL Network, but I have no reason to not believe Chris Tomasetti, no trade in place currently. Let's see. Okay, hold on. I'm getting word that there are false internet reports that there is no trade in place, regardless of what you're reading on social media. Doesn't mean that can't change, but as of now, Aiyuk is a 49er and no trade is in place, but it does feel like we are getting closer to a trade. That's from Tom Pelissero and Mike Garafolo on NFL Network. So, there's a saying, I wasn't wrong, I was early. Maybe this tweet from Cam Marino is just early, but national NFL people are shooting this down for now. So let me put that on the screen so no one gets all bent out of shape. No trade in place right now, as of right now. That can change. Famous last words in sports media. There we go. No. There we go. So, are we early or is there no trade? That is the big question. That is the big question. Maybe we're early. If the 49ers are willing to trade him, there's no reason to delay this thing out and drag it out. So, we probably will get word later tonight or maybe tomorrow if they're willing to trade him. Teams are obviously going to be calling. I'm sure teams were calling. But as of right now, no trade in place. I trust NFL Network. I trust those guys. So there's no need to continue the broadcast. Let's be honest. So I'm going to shut it down for now. Like I said, Vish and I will be back 5 p.m. Pacific time less than 3 hours from now, 2.5 hours from now, we'll be back. Maybe we'll have Brandon Aiyuk breaking news. But at least right now, as of right now, there is no trade in place. Sorry, everybody. Again, I never said it was true. I just wanted to react to the tweet that I saw because it did come from an NFL person. So we wait. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network wherever you get your audio podcasts. Brandon Aiyuk, still a 49er, at least for a couple more hours.